Welcome back everyone. Today we're going to do a video on how to edit a uh, YouTube video that you recorded in CapCut. And it's just for beginners. It's nothing major, just some simple things, just some basics for a newbie. So, hope you enjoy. I'm going to do a little bit of here and there cuts. I'm going to do how to extract the audio out of the video. I'm going to show time-lapse and then adding some music, which I'm not going to take a lot of time on the music as far as choosing a music sound. I'm just going to try to grab some. If it sounds ridiculous, I'll just have to either do it off screen or hopefully I'll get lucky and it'll sound okay and I'll leave it in this video. This is an actual video that I'm going to post. It will come out later, probably after this edit video. I'm probably going to post this video tutorial before I post this actual video. So I'm not going to show a bunch of it. I'm just going to explain. I'm not going to like make you listen to the whole thing as we edit, but I'm just going to say and pretend we listen to this much of it, and I'll let you hear just a little bit, and then I'll explain why I'm cutting, where I'm cutting, and what I'm doing. And I hope you enjoy. And my name's Jewel. So let's get started. I'm going to show you how to do this part. Basically, you're going to download CapCut. If you don't already have it, it's going to look like this little icon right there at the bottom of the screen. You're going to open it. Once you open it, you're going to get a little sign, a little thing that says create a new video or whatever it is, and you're going to click that. And then once it's clicked, it'll bring you in here. And once you're in here, you should have the same setup, but if not, just you're gonna have to look around and read the different options you have to know what you need to kind of do. You're not gonna know everything from that, but you're gonna know a bunch of it. All right. So what you're gonna do for just the most easiest and quickest way to do it for just a simple YouTube edit where you don't need to do a lot to the video. Say you just have a couple little things you got to do and then you're done, right? So that's what we're going to do. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you what you would do to drop a video in here. So after this opens, there won't be this video here, this won't be here, that won't be there, okay? So what you would do is go to, after this is open, go to where your video is, or click import and can go find it. But I like to do it this way because I already know where my video is and it's already open on the it's not open, but it's open in the file manager or whatever you want to call it, file explorer. So all right, so this one is just me recording this video, so that's what this emblem is. This video here is this actual video. So what you would do, all you got to do is grab it, left mouse, hold down left mouse button and drag it over here. And it pops it up there. And it did that and left it there because it was already there. If that wouldn't have been there, that one would have popped into the place where there was a blank spot. Or if it would have been another video, if I go back and grab another video, I could drag another one in there and it would bring it in and set it next to it. Okay? So that's how you get to drag and drop it right in. Okay? Then you're going to grab it here and you're going to drag it down and you can put it right up against there. Okay? But you would be putting it over here. You'd put it right against there. Now I'm not going to put it anywhere because I already put one there. But you're going to drag it holding the left mouse button down and drag it to that spot and let go. I'm not going to drag it anywhere because it's already there. Now if it wasn't there I would, but you should be able to understand that part. You just hold your left mouse, click it, keep holding the left mouse button, and then drag it down and let go. That's all you gotta do. If you see that you didn't drag it all the way to the right where you see this one is, just grab it again and drag it over a little bit. This little line here, you're gonna left click on it and drag it over here if it's not already at the beginning. Alright, so what you're going to do is hit play right here. And as you begin to listen, and you need to be listening to what's going on in the video because you might have to take out something. Maybe maybe when you were talking about something, you said the wrong word. Maybe you meant to say green and you said red. That red bucket, and you meant to say green bucket. You want to take that out. Maybe you just want to take that one word out, and you're not even going to say which bucket it is. You're just going to just take the word red out and leave the word bucket in, and because you don't have it, ready to put the audio in of a voiceover, basically. Now, there's probably another way of doing a voiceover than the way I could tell you to do one. Because, see, I just do things on the fly. I hadn't necessarily studied, like, in depth of how to do some things. But I just come up with my own way to do things. So, whether it's the way other people do it or not, I don't know. If I wanted to fix that and make it another, like, say, green bucket, say I want to say green bucket and I accidentally said red bucket, I would hit play. I'm going to hit play real quick, but then I'm going to stop it. Alright, it's going to talk. Welcome back, everyone. Today we're in a game called Ranch Simulator. Alright, so pretend I just messed up and say it was about right here. Alright, and I was going to want to change it from red bucket to green bucket. Well, I don't have the word green in there unless I've said green in the video somewhere. So what I'm going to need is that audio of me saying that. So what you can do is in another area, and I typically do it with Giants Editor. See this Giants Editor right here? I would click that open, and then it would open up to Giants Editor page, just an empty blank screen, not even a map, just a blank screen. And I would hit record after I turned on my OBS, which is your recording software, and I would hit record and say green, and then I would stop it. And then I would take that little clip of me saying green, okay, and I'd bring it, import it, or click on the little audio file of the video. It's actual video and audio at that point because I had the Giants Editor open. Then I'm going to bring it and drag it down to wherever I need to put it, right? And then I'm going to click on the video, okay? So let's pretend this little first piece is it. You would click on that and you would right click it. And you can click extract audio. It'll take that green, me saying green, out of that video. And once I did that, I can click on it'll drop it down here. It'll be an audio clip of just the word me saying green. Then you can click on that video piece, make sure it's none of the one you want to keep, just the one where it had the Giants Editor. And then you're going to click on it, make sure it's highlighted white, and hit delete on your keyboard. Or you could do right click and go to delete here and hit left click it on delete. Okay, that's how you could get an audio piece in there that you needed. And then you can move that to where you take out the red. Once you cut that red one out, you can put that green one in, and it'll say green bucket. You see what I'm saying? Alright, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to let you hear this, hopefully let you hear this little piece here. It's hard to get it. I'm trying to get it where you don't have to hear much, but let's try it. Now, what I do when I'm recording, you don't have to do this, but when I'm recording, I say I'm going to do a time-lapse so that everybody knows, hey, enjoy your time-lapse. You don't have to do that. You can just do a time-lapse. Either way you want to do it, do it. So what I'll do is I'll say it so I'll know that's where I want my time-lapse. Then I don't got to look through the video and be wondering what I was going to do. I already planned it out while I'm recording it. So when I hit play and I hear me say I'm going to do a time-lapse, enjoy it or whatever, I'm going to hit pause. Then that's where you're going to make your cut. Wherever you're ready to make your cut, you hit pause and then cut it. And I'll show you how to do that. We're going to hit play. Got to jump around on some of the trees. Let's jump over here and cut one more, and then we'll put a time-lapse going because it's going to take a bit. Timber! Whoops, I was supposed to call that out first. But anyway, you can just imagine each time I cut one, I'm screaming timber while you enjoy your time-lapse. But I'm going to go ahead and start it. Catch you in a bit. And you would hit pause. And what I did, I already had cut it, but I'm going to show you again. It may say I can't because I'll have to show you somewhere else. But basically, this button here is a split. Sometimes you call it a cut, but in this case it says split. So, or you could do Control B as in boy on the keyboard and it would cut it as well, or split it as well. And basically that draws a line through it. So I'm going to pretend I clicked it. I'm going to hit the left mouse button on it, and then I'm going to move this and show you what happened. You'll see there's a line that's cut right through it, right? So now we know the talking part's over here. And now this part's going to be not talking. And why is it going to be not talking? It don't have to be not talking. I just didn't talk while I recorded that part because I knew it was going to be a piece of a time lapse. I didn't have to talk. I knew I was taking the audio out of it. Okay? Now if you recorded the whole thing but you decide you don't like the talk that you talked, and you're just like, oh, I'm just going to do a time lapse on that field on farm sim or whatever you're recorded, whatever it is. Say you're doing something else and you talk the whole time, but then you decide, I don't need all that. I got this other little talking part. I don't need this piece. I'm going to take it out. That's where you're going to cut. Cut where you're going to take it out, where you want the audio gone and you want the video there. Okay? So now I've started that. Now I'm going to be able to move it over. I'm just drag this line over, and that's all not talking, and I want to keep the video, and I'm going to speed it up. So I'm going to get to this cut. So what I did is I went till I started to talk again. So basically, whenever I got to let me try to make it where you don't have to listen too much. It's hard to get it up close. It don't let you click right. Alright, I'll go ahead and do it. I'm going to hit play. And then it'll get to where I'm going to sleep. You'll see in this video. And then as soon as I get up, I talk again. So I'll immediately pause it before I talk and hit cut. That ends the time lapse length that I wanted to do. So I'm just going to pretend I do it, but I'll pause it, but I'll pretend I cut it. I've already cut it, but I'm just explaining it to you. So I get up. Watch me.
Alrighty then.
Then I talked. Before I'd have said alrighty then, I would have paused it. And then I'm going to come over here and click on split with your left mouse button. And you can look, and it did the split right there. Now I know this whole piece that I just went through and listened to and made sure what I wanted to cut and cut what I wanted. Even if I talked through it, I didn't, but even if you did and you said, oh, I don't want any of that, I don't want any of that talking, or something played in the background, or a dog was barking, and you're like, I don't want that in the video. Well, cut at the beginning, cut at the end of it, and then you're going to left click on it, okay, right click, and then you're going to click extract audio. Okay, it's going to take the audio out. And if you didn't want any of that audio, okay, none of it, if you didn't want that part of the video, you're going to delete it. You're going to click on it and hit delete on the keyboard, just like so. Alright, now that's gone. Only the video's left. But now I need to speed that piece up because I want it to be a time lapse. And depending on if you want yours to speed up or not, you do this or don't do this. You left click on it again, and then you're going to come up here to the right and hit speed. Then you come over on the speed line and pick out which one you want. I want this one right here in the middle is usually where I put it. And you can see it shrunk it. That used to be long, and now how short it is, okay? The video was 30 minutes and something, and now it's saying it'll be 25, so it shrunk it down. So now, if you was to take this and go back to it, and I hit play, you watch how fast it's going. Now it's moving fast, see? And you could go faster. You just move it up, or you want to go slower, you move it down. Okay? So that's how you do the time lapse. And it'll go, faster, slower, whatever you need. Alright, now in this case, I'm going to want to have some music. So I'm going to let this, you see how it kind of snapped into place? Watch what happens. See it snap? Well, that's putting it right in that little crease where I cut it. And that's a good thing because that's where we're going to pretty much start from. But we're going to import music. Now remember, I'm not going to get picky about it because I don't know what I want to pick really. I'll just see what I can do. Sometimes I have to pick more than one because this video might be longer than what the song is. So we're going to hit import. And in this case, it took me to where my music is. You go to where yours is, the music you're allowed to use. I'm only using YouTube music, the one that they let you get free. So far I haven't had any issues using it, but I'm not using anything. I'm not paying for anything. So you need to pay for some sort of music that so you don't have a copyright issue, then pay for it. But I'm not using anything that I'm not allowed to use. I'm only using what YouTube allows. So I've already got those on this list in downloads area. So I'm just going to go pick something from there. And I'm not even sure what I want to pick because I'm really not sure of all of the songs. So I'm just going to pick something that might be ridiculous. So bear with me, or I may pick something I know that's not terrible, just for the sake of this tutorial. I'll do that. I know I've heard this, I think, before, and we'll do something like that just for the sake of this video. And if I have to redo it later, I can. All right, so we're gonna click on it and hit open. It's gonna put it up here. That's just the audio. We're gonna left click on it and drag it down right to that line where I set it up, and look, it almost fits perfectly. That's pretty good. I might even trim that a little if I have to fit the rest of this music, just to make it where I don't have to put more music there. But anyway, what you're going to do now is you're going to hit play because you got your line right there. You want to hear the music with the video. Now I'm going to hit play. Alright, that's way too loud. So you're going to make sure that you left click on this and it highlights the audio. Then you're going to come up here to this volume line and you're going to bring it down to however you need it. And sometimes that's tricky because sometimes I get it too low and sometimes it's too high. So you just have to mess around with it. We'll see what happens. I don't want to blow out everybody's eardrums. Alright, that sounds better. I'm going to leave it there. I think that sounds okay. And that's what music you're going to have to this time lapse. And that sounds good. I like it. So I'm not going to play the whole thing, but you get the point. It's going to play on through, and I am going to have to jump to the end because I got to see if it ends at the right time. So I'm going to jump ahead. Now you wouldn't. You would just keep playing and watching it through it, but I'm going to have to get it toward the end so I can see how it ends. And I want it to end at the right spot. Alright, it didn't end. You can see I still have a little smidgen of stuff left to do. So what you could do, there's lots of things you could do. But in this case, I'm just going to drag this down again and it'll start it over again. And you'll just get the first half of the next piece. There's other things you can do. You can pick a new song. You can hit, if you say, oh, I don't like that song, I changed my mind, I don't want that one, just click on it and hit delete. Then click on this and hit delete and then hit import and bring another song in. And if, say, this long strip right here is here and you want it to be, this is going to be different music, like 3 different music options throughout that whole time lapse, or even if it's not a time lapse, you can put it in there without a time lapse. You can extract the audio without time lapse in it. You're going to import the audio, drag it down. Import another audio, drag it down, put it behind it. Import another audio, drag it down, put it behind it. And once you get it, say it goes past where you want it, you can cut that piece off. So if this was too long, all I have to do is make sure this audio one is highlighted. See how it's white? And make sure that right when it gets to where I want it to stop the audio in the video, I hit pause, and then I make sure this is highlighted on this white spot on this audio one, and I hit cut. It'll only cut this audio one. Okay? Now if I clicked up top, it would cut the video piece, and I don't want to do that. So all I'm going to do in this case is drag this down again and butt it up to there. It'll put it, sometimes it'll put it at the bottom. It really don't matter as long as it's there. But I'm probably going to have to cut it, and you'll see why. Because what's going to happen is it's not up against there. It's going to be like a blank spot. And I'm going to have to cut the tip off of that blank spot or the end of that one to get it to where I need it. So what I'm going to do first is click on this one. Okay? because it's a smidgen and it's kind of quiet for a second. And I'm going to go ahead and hit cut. You see that little smidgen that highlighted? I'm going to hit delete. I don't want it to be quiet for any length of time. Now I'm going to left click on this one and gently drag it over and butt it up against there and hope that it butted up properly. And I'm going to tap this back just enough that I can listen to the merge, it going into that next piece. And I'm going to watch it so that when it falls in this line here, and I get up out of that little bed, the tent, I'm going to cut this piece. I'm going to hit pause and cut this tip off of there if I have to, or actually the back half I'll be cutting off. I want the front half to stay. So we're going to hit play just to see how it merges. Alright, listen to it close. It's fixing to merge. It's going to start the whole thing over. Alright, now that one's going to be louder. And so what you're going to do is put it on the same number you put the other one on, which was like 20. And I'll check that. All you got to do is go back, click on it. Click on the other one. It says 20.4. So come back to here, and you can use these arrows to get to it easier if you can't drag it to the right spot. You can press up, and it goes down on the numbers. If you press down, it goes up on the numbers. So there, 20.4 matches the same level as the other one. And also, if we back it up a hair, you'll notice it got quiet for a second. So what we can do is cut that out. Excuse me, we can hit play and we'll cut that out. Well, that one did okay. I don't have to cut it. No, it did okay. So it transitioned okay. It wasn't too long of a blank time or quiet time. You don't want it to be a long time. So it's fixing to get ready to stop, and I'm going to have to hit pause. So as soon as I get out of that tent, I got to hit pause. And then I got to cut it. So get ready. Alright, I got to get ready because it's got to be right on the money. Okay, that right there. Now, this is highlighted, the audio is. That's what I want to cut. I don't want to cut up there. So make sure this ain't highlighted up top, just the audio. Then I'm going to hit cut. Now, just cut that. Now, this piece that highlighted at the end, that's what I'm going to hit delete on. So just make sure you're only deleting the piece you didn't want, which we don't need that part. So I'm going to hit delete now. Now it's fixed. So if I was to back up again, you'd see it's fixed. Okay, so I'm not going to make you listen to it again. Alright, next up, you come into this video and immediately goes back to playing. Alrighty then, here we go. Alright, now what you could do is click on that piece. If you need the volume to change, you can come to audio, click on the audio up here, and then you can do whatever you need to do with that audio. Okay, I have it down a little. Usually I leave it on the line where they have it. But right now it's down a little just because it was a little loud. But you can put it wherever you need it to adjust it to where the sound sounds right for your video. And you want to try to match the other ones. So this one over here that's talking as well, you want to try to put them on the same number. Okay? So just click on it and you can see it. Just check it. Click it. Click audio on each one. Alright, so this one is a bunch of talking, and I've already listened to it, so I'm not going to make you go listen to it. But you would just hit play and listen to all this. And then as you go, you're listening, seeing everything that's happening, and you get to the certain spot you need to cut again. So then you do it again. Okay? And so we're just basically going to do it'd be the same process. And I don't think we need to fool with any of that. They're going to So what do we need? Get to where I cut it. I'm gonna say, oh, I gotta do a time lapse, and then we're gonna do a time lapse. I guess we'll try to do a little more. And you can see I'm running out there. Go ahead and do a time lapse. See, I'm talking about a time lapse. Get that going. So we'll chop down one tree and then we'll do a time lapse. I hope you enjoy your time lapse. And then that's when I hit pause in the video. And then you'll come over here and left mouse click on split and it'll cut that right out. And that saved me thinking and time. I did all my thinking while I was recording this video. I don't have to do much of it here because I already said what I was going to do, and then I'm going to do it. And I know right after that, as soon as I said that, I'm going to cut that, and it cut it. So if you was to look at it, it'd be a cut right there. And then I'm going to hit play again, and you'll see I don't talk. And if I did talk, it would just be because I had to. See, you hear the fan going now? I turned the fan on. But all that's going to get took out. Nobody's going to hear that. Well, they are in this video, but not in the main video I was editing. So I turned the fan on to cool the computer off. See? So other stuff going on, but you don't care because you know you're going to cut that out, right? You got to make sure you do it, of course, but you know. So all that didn't matter to me because I knew I was going to cut that. I already said this is a time lapse, so I knew this part that I was working on would be a time lapse. All right. So what you're going to do is click on it, right click, and hit extract audio because I don't need that. I don't want the sound of the fan going or any of that. And then I'm going to hit delete. Now that's audio's gone and we're doing the time lapse. So now I'm going to click on it again and come up here to speed, and we're going to do the same number we did on the other one, which is 5.0. And look how small it is. That's just my dog shaking off. Alright, so this is the small, it's very small. You're going to click back because it always moves your little thing. It snaps into place on the front of that, so you'll be okay, you know. Alright, so we need music for that now. So all I got to do is hit import. Come find something short because I'm hopefully can find something short. I'm going to go pick the other one to that same, there it is. The other one was this person and part 2, so alright, the other one said Snowy Peaks part 2, so it's kind of out of order, but it doesn't really matter because it doesn't have to be together anyway. But I'm going to click it. This is part 1 of the same type of music, so that's what we're going to bring in, okay? And I'm going to just drag it down, put it right there at that line because it's telling me where it was, and then I'm going to hit play. Alright, that's too loud. So what we're going to do is click back over here, and what number? 20.4. So we're going to click back on this one again, left clicking, and then click this till it says 20, and then you can click down or up or whichever way you got to go to get to the 4. Then you have the 4. Now, that's the volume's going to be the right level now. So now we can back it up a little. I want to show you past it so you'll see that it transitioned into the right spot. All right, we're talking. So what do we need? And it's going to go right into the music. More wood. And then we'll do the cut again. I'll go ahead and do a time lapse and get that going. So we'll chop down one tree and then we'll do a time lapse. I hope you enjoy your time lapse. See, went right into it perfectly. So then you let that play, and this is so short I'm just going to let it play. Because as soon as that stops, like I start to talk again, I gotta stop it and cut that. So it's gonna be a little difficult because I don't remember where I stopped it at. I guess I stopped it right after this log, the last log. So I gotta get ready. Alright, that's where I stopped it. And when you seen it look down, I was turning the fan off, because I wanted to record without the sound of the fan in the background when I'm talking. So right here is where I'm going to cut it, okay? So this one's highlighted. That's where I need to cut because that's where the music is going to stop. And then as soon as it lifts my head back up, I'm going to be talking. So I'm going to hit cut. You're going to hit the splice or left mouse click on there. And it just cut that. It only cut this down here, the audio, not the top. Because I already had that cut. And now this piece is already highlighted, or I could click on it at the end where I don't want music. And I'm going to hit delete. And so now when I hit play, watch what happens. Alrighty then. See? Alrighty then. That meant I knew I was through with the time lapse, so I started talking. And the time lapse ended. So if I was to back this up, you would listen to that time lapse and it would go right into me talking perfectly. Because where I cut that audio at, I cut it, I slid it, sliced it out of there, and then ready to go. And we're almost through, so I'll show you how to export it. Alright. Alrighty then. It was snowing while we were doing that. See, so it went right into it. I just wanted to get a little bit more. Alright, and this is all talking, and I've already checked it. You're just going to let it play, listen to it. If you got to cut something, cut it out. If you say a word you don't like, pause it right before you say the word, cut it, and then let it play a little. And right after you say the word, pause it, cut it again. Then you will click on that sliver that you just cut out and hit delete, and it'll slide that over. Then you just back this up again in front of that so you can listen to it again so you see how it sounds when it merges and when it goes across both, and you're ready to go. Alright, so once you've done all that types of stuff, editing, if you have any issues or need to add something at the end, maybe you have a special video clip that you have at the end that you already pre-recorded, you could just click import, go get it, put it at the end if you're saying thank you or whatever, or I usually just add it to my recording when I'm doing it. But however people do it, you can throw it in here, same thing, get it ready. Now you're going to make sure none of this is clicked, alright, nothing's highlighted because you don't want to send out the wrong thing, but everything's finished now, the video's finished. Now you need to make sure that your audio is the same, so what I would do is I'm going to put mine on this 0, just because I know that I don't care about the, I just turned it down for y'all's sake, not for that video, because they can change that. So, but you would put that wherever you thought it sounded right in your video when you were editing. I only had it down for y'all. Alright, so the rest of them's already on the numbers I was going to pick. We're going to make sure none of that's highlighted, and now we're going to hit export. Come in here and you title it. So I'm just going to say Ranch Simulator, and then I'm going to say whatever it was about. In this case, this is going to be a tutorial, and I'm probably actually not going to call it Ranch Simulator because I'm not actually going to call it that, because that's not what it's about. How to edit a beginning or beginner video, which I'll probably title it something else, but this is just so I can find it when I'm looking for it. And then I'm going to click here, put it, in this case 60 frames per second, and then you're going to click, leave the rest like that, or you can change it depending on what you need. I'm leaving it on 720 because I don't want to use up too much on my Wi-Fi, so issue uploading, so I'm keeping it kind of low. The bigger the resolution, the harder or longer it takes to upload. Make sure it's on an MP4, make sure it's on H.264 depending on what you're doing, and I always leave that on that. Hit export, and you'll see I'm not going to do the whole thing, I don't guess, but it's just going to go all the way to the end, and it's done. And then it's going to start making a short. Now usually I don't use those because they're right at the beginning. That's all that they're doing is taking the beginning, and I don't want that. I would make my own short. And after this video, I'll do a video of how to make a short in CapCut for y'all as well. So stay tuned for that if you see this video. But in this case, I'm not going to click anything. It's doing its business. I'm just going to take you to where it's going to end up, just so I can go ahead and end the video. All it's going to do is finish it and start playing it. And after it finishes it, just click cancel, and then click X out of here and X out again. Now, if you're wanting to do a short, don't X out. Just hit cancel here, but don't X out of this. And then if you see the video I'm going to make about the short, you'll know what to do next there. But don't X out at that point, because you'll jump right back in and use this to help you make your short. At least an easy way to do it. You don't have to do it this way. There's other ways, but that's just one way. Alright, I'm going to click here. I'm going to go show you where it's going to end up. And this is still recording. I'm going to click on D drive and go scroll up, and it's CapCut edits. I don't know if I made that folder. It did. I can't remember. But either way, once you download CapCut, go from there wherever your folder ends up. Double click on it, and it's going to end up in here. It's not quite here yet. But once it is, it's going to look like one of these. And of course, there's a short. That's what a short looks like. So it'll pop up in here when it's done. I don't want to be in there when I'm gonna let it do its thing. Oh, it's almost done. Okay.
Welcome back, everyone.
It's done.
Today we're in a game called Ranch Simulator.
See how it's doing?
As you can see, my pig is climbing.
I'm gonna hit pause. It's generating a short. I don't want that, because it's just gonna be the beginning of the video, and I don't want that. I would want it wherever I wanted it to be. So I'm gonna hit cancel. Okay, and then I would go make the short. But I'm not going to do that in this video. You will, if you stay tuned, you'll see me continue on another video of how to make the short from what we just did. We're going to leave this just like this and use this to help us make that short. Just for extra bonus for us to promote this video we're doing. Like, we'd make a short of that. In this case, it'll be a short of the Ranch Sim game. But anyway, we're going to call that an episode here. But like I say, once you click out of this, it's going to save it in the little CapCut area. And then it finishes it out and you're good to go. You can go on and do something else. But I hope you enjoyed. I'm going to catch you on the next one. I hope this helps out the new people or some people that maybe been doing a little bit of stuff but just didn't know how to use CapCut a little bit. I don't know everything about it. There's other things you could do. I didn't show all that. I can show that later if anybody needs help. But this is just for some people that may be having some trouble with that. But appreciate everybody. Catch you on the next one. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, turn on your notification bell if you want to receive a notification every time I post a video. Goodbye, everybody.